So for those of you watching this live on TikTok and other platforms, we are more than happy to take your questions. Just for a refresher, what we do is we go through Reddit and other channels and we find people that have questions about starting their business, and we give them or running a business, something like that, and we give them advice on because this is what Gummi and I have been doing for so long. So we give advice on that, and we do have a question from TikTok. So this is from Zach on TikTok, who says, "How will the new tax bill affect businesses?" Well, we can't answer that yet. And the reason we can't answer it yet is because the bill has not passed anything yet. It's just being proposed. But there's a couple of parts to it. The one that would affect businesses is the no tax on tips. I think that's the one that affects businesses the most.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. And the no tax on tips, I think what it does is part of the problem that restaurants are having is getting wait staff. Wait staff is very hard to find these days because there's two parts to it. Number one, most, not all, but most businesses will pay at that minimum wage for wait staff, which is only like $2.50 an hour or something. I mean, it's crazy. Yep. But the idea was supposed to be that you get tips, and the tips help out with that. So that's the first thing, and then the second thing is people are getting that $2.50, but they're not making a lot in tips because some people aren't tipping. A lot of people aren't tipping, as a matter of fact. The last chart that I saw showed 10 years ago, if arbitrarily tips were up here, now they're down here. People aren't tipping nearly as much.
Well, so let's get.
I mean, this is your industry, so
when I go to, the problem has become everybody's asking for them constantly.
Yes.
And I think people...
tip exhaustion. Yes. Everywhere you go.
Yes.
Everywhere.
Like I was at a graduation yesterday and I bought a pretzel at a graduation, and on the thing it says, "Would you like to leave a tip?"
Oh.
And I'm like, I'm buying a $9 pretzel at a university campus, and you're asking me if I want to leave a tip for someone, once again, meeting expectations. You pulled it from the heater and you handed it to me.
Did you make it? No.
Did you do anything other than hand me the product I just paid for? No.
Yeah.
You don't get a tip. Right?
No, you're right. Tip exhaustion has really become a problem in this country. It really has.
Like, it used to be restaurants and cab drivers.
Yeah, pretty much.
That was it, right? Now
it's everybody.
You hire a mover. Are you going to tip the mover?
Yeah.
I don't know. What about my plumber? Do I tip my plumber?
Right.
Do I tip my, who do we tip anymore? Right? Because it seems like just Starbucks. I go in and I order a black coffee.
Yeah.
All the person has to do is do the thingy and hand me the cup. Does that deserve a tip?
If they're being paid $2.50 an hour, yes.
But they're not.
Right, that's what I'm saying. They're not. In fact, the Starbucks are being paid $15, aren't they?
I don't know.
Starbucks has a minimum of $15. I could be wrong on that, so don't quote me on that.
Yeah, but
actually, I'm gonna look it up.
I think that's part of why we're seeing tipping go down. Is just people are. I don't know whether the stats are skewed, whether tipping has gone down in general, or if tipping has gone down because more people are asking for tips.
In California, Starbucks baristas now earn $20.25 per hour.
Yep.
Oh, it's because the state has a minimum of 20.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought that was Starbucks doing that.
That's Starbucks.
So anyway, yeah.
But yeah, so once again, it's that whole with statistics, right?
Yeah.
Like shark attacks go up alongside ice cream sales. Right?
Right. Because they're both in the summer. Sure.
It has nothing to do with ice cream, right?
Right.
So once again, I'm curious, has tipping gone down proportionally because there's more places asking for tips, or because we're no longer tipping the people that we were used to tipping?
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
So I think we're still tipping our cab drivers, Uber drivers, whatever. And I think we're still tipping our wait staff. I think we're just not tipping all these other people that are now asking for tips.
Yeah.
Right. Or these businesses.
So back to the waiters and waitresses, right? So back to the question about the tax bill. Again, if no tax on tips does go through, my guess is that it would entice people to get back into the wait staff, because now they're not paying. Well,
Yeah.
the taxes on tips can add up quite a bit, especially if they're only making $2.50 an hour,
Yeah.
right? It might entice people to go back into the industry because now they're making, one quarter, one third more, because now they're not paying that money on tips. The problem is going to be, of course, the accounting for that. You have to keep what's the word?
Impeccable.
Impeccable. Thank you. Impeccable records. Impeccable.
Of what is tips and what is
what's
not.
tips
Well,
and what's not.
They kind of already have to do that.
Oh, do they?
Well, yeah, because think about the percentage of people that pay with a credit card.
Well, sure. Yeah.
So they
but
have
I'm talking
to-
about cash mostly.
Yes, because all tips paid in cash get reported.
Well, now they don't have to. Right?
You think they were prior?
No, I know.
But yeah, I mean, those records are all kept. Everybody has a log of
But that brings up a good point, though. About the, I go to Starbucks where they're already making $15 an hour, and I tip them. Is that no tax on tips too? I guess so.
If it's no tax on tips, it's no tax on tips, right?
So it's benefiting.
So here's
a
my
larger
question.
group than it's supposed to. I think.
So when my electrician shows up, right? Because you're allowed to add tips under certain conditions.
Yeah.
Like, let's take a restaurant. They can say groups of 10s, automatic 20% gratuity, right?
Yep.
What's stopping my electrician from saying, "Oh, we have a 20% tipping surcharge on your bill," and now he gets 20% of his revenue as tips?
Right. I'll bet you. I'm looking at the rules. I'll bet you the rule is going to have to be something like, if you make the $2.50 an hour, then there's no tax on tips.
Correct.
Because it wouldn't make sense otherwise.
Yeah, there's probably going to be an income limit.
Yeah,
right?
there has to be.
Meaning, like, let's take you for example, right?
Take me.
Yeah. As an attorney, right?
Yeah. Trust me, people don't tip me.
No. But like, if you said, I normally charge $2.50 an hour, but for you it's just $100 plus whatever you feel like tipping me.
Okay.
Right. Okay.
That doesn't sound like a good attorney, but that's okay.
No, but I'm just saying, right? Like, there's going to be all these games that are going to get played with this tipping thing if they don't have very clear rules.
Yeah, you're right.
On, like, it should be wait staff and drivers.
I would say it's got to be people that earn a certain amount.
Let's start with two industries. Let's start with restaurants and let's start with drivers and see how that goes before we say no tax on tips, period. Right? And I have a feeling that they're going to limit it to certain...
It has to. Because everybody gets tipped now. Everybody. No matter where you go and what you do.
Dude, I'm not charging my customers anything. I'm just taking tips.
Just taking tips.
It's all tips. It's all tips.
I work for free. It's all tips. All right. So, Zach, we don't know because these bills haven't been passed officially. We don't know what the language of the bills are yet. But I would have to guess that's what's going to happen. I think it will entice some people to come back into the wait staff industry.
At the end of the day, almost any tax bill that is passed for businesses, when you increase the taxes that they pay, they end up spending more on capital improvements.
Yep.
When you increase the taxes that
you meant decrease.
Yes.
Yeah.
When you decrease, capital investments normally go up,
Yep.
right? Which is good for everybody.
Yep.
Because now the guy that does the steel beams gets a job, right? Like, and then he hires people, and then the carpenter.
That's what's supposed to happen. It doesn't always, but that's what's supposed to happen.
Correct. Like, but with capital improvements,
with small businesses, that's generally what happens.
Well,
with small businesses,
I can tell you because we work a lot with contractors and stuff, right? So I can tell you when they cut the corporate taxes the last time.
Yep.
We saw more bids from companies like Fortune 500 companies.
Sure.
Doing renovations and upgrades than we had seen the years prior.
Yeah, but those same companies were also they took. You understand, those companies have a lot of money that they saved. They took arbitrarily a quarter of it and put it back into the economy, and then used the rest to do stock buybacks and things like that. Right?
Correct.
So small businesses aren't doing stock buybacks.
No.
They're hiring more people. They're getting more supplies. Yes. They're making new products, investing in new things. We don't have stock buybacks. There's no stock to buy back. We're small. So small, medium-sized businesses will generally benefit from something like that.
Yes.
And I mean, 99 times out of 100, as far as every business owner I have, they're not taking that money, putting it in their pockets.
No.
I don't take money, put it in my pockets. I take my money and I hire people.
I reinvest.
I reinvest in my
Yep.
company.
Oh, yeah.
I'm doing more and more things. So anyway, let's not get into a political discussion here.
No. It's interesting how taxes can swing the decisions that businesses make.
All right, so Zach, there you go. Anybody else that's listening live on what?
Once there's a final bill, we can.
Yeah, once there's a final bill, we'll have a better understanding. So, anyone who's listening live, please feel free to send us a question if about your business, your business questions if you're doing a startup or something like that. But in the meantime, let's go to Reddit.
If you found this clip interesting, make sure to go listen to the full podcast. There's lots more content there.